In this video, we will try to understand India's defense budget for the financial year 2022 to 2023. The total defense budget for this financial year is 5.25 lakh crore or $70.25 billion, which is an increase of 9.82% from the previous fiscal year. The defense budget includes 1.19 lakh crore or $16 billion as defense pension for the armed forces, which is increased by 3% from the previous fiscal year. In the defense budget, the finance minister allocated 1.52 lakh crore or $20.38 billion for capital acquisition to modernize the armed forces. The capital outlay increased around 12.2% from the previous financial year. For the financial year 2021 to 2022, the budgetary allocation for capital outlay was $18 billion, but the revised estimate showed the expenditure of $18.5 billion. Under the capital outlay, the Indian Army's capital budget went down by 12.2% to $4.3 billion. Indian Army had spent only 40% of its budget in the ongoing financial year. The Indian Air Force retained the biggest share of the force's capital budget of $7.6 billion, an increase of just about 4.5% from the previous financial year. Indian Air Force had spent around 70% of its budget in the ongoing financial year. A massive jump of around 43% in the modernization funds for the Indian Navy in the defense budget. The Indian Navy has been given an allocation of $6.3 billion under capital outlay. Indian Navy had spent around 130% of its budget in the ongoing financial year. The finance minister today said that the government is committed to reducing imports and promoting self-reliance in equipment for the armed forces. 68% of the capital procurement budget will be dedicated to the domestic industry, which is up from 58% from the previous financial year. An allocation of $31.2 billion has been made for revenue expenditure, that includes expenses on payment of salaries and maintenance of establishments. Under the revenue expenditure, the Indian Army has been given an allocation of $22 billion. The Indian Navy has been given an allocation of $3.4 billion, and the Indian Air Force has been given an allocation of $4.4 billion. The DRDO has been given an allocation of $1.25 billion for research and development, which is an increase of 2.9% from the previous fiscal year. $1.6 billion for capital expenditure. $1.7 billion for to develop new technology, which includes $13 million for the Army and $1.6 billion for Air Force. 25% of defense's research and development will be spent on startups and private industry.